Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure, privilege connecting with you on the topic of spiritual vocabulary. We have seen that for understanding any new science, we need to start with the alphabets and then subsequently learn the words and their meaning. And thereafter, we move on to forming sentences with the grammar, and then later on write essays and poems. So in the same way, when you are getting introduced to a new branch of science, in our case of discussion is spirituality. In the same way as our learning process, we will commence with the vocabulary and then later on we'll put them together for better understanding the science of spirituality. We have also seen that human life over a period of time significantly improving in terms of physical comforts as compared to what our forefathers were enjoying. Although the physical comfort has significantly improved, but the people are not really peaceful. I think there seems to be a disconnect between comfort and a sense of completeness in our life. So the science of spirituality is not an empty subject for naive people. Spirituality is not a subject meant for people who have nothing else to do in their life. It is something very foundation of human life for us to understand ourselves better and function in a more sensible way by which quality of our life continuously improves. So in this context, we have been seeing different terminologies. You may call it as a jargon in the management parlance. Each one of these spiritual words have got an import of huge amount of meaning which needs to be understood for us to appreciate the science of spirituality. Today we will see another word which is the most abused words in the science of spirituality, which is karma. What is karma really means? Many people have got a different understanding of this word and express their own appreciation of this based on the connotation that they have been given by their forefathers. Let us look at what really karma means. Karma actually is a word which was not there in the English dictionary before, and then later on it came from a Vedic science, and then since was extensively accepted across the world, it has become an English word. When I was a small boy, my mother always used to say if somebody seemed to be suffering, she used to say it is their karma. So one of the understanding of the word karma is that means the results of our life is the outcome of our karma. This is what I understood as a small boy. More than understanding what karma is, it is very relevant to understand what is the wrong representation of the connotation of the word karma. Another concept prevails that karma is a reward or punishment. That means if we are enjoying something in our life, we say it's a good karma. And if we have got a suffering in our life, we say it's our bad karma. So what does this really mean? Let us build on this topic as we go along. Human beings, in particular to the Oriental countries, are more superstitious as compared to the people coming from the West. If you take India, Japan or Far East countries, you will see people becoming more and more superstitious. That means they start believing something which is beyond the scope of human beings' control. One of the words used in India is vidhi, that is in English it is called fate. Whenever something happens beyond our control, we say it is my fate, it is my karma, that's why it is happening. So, in many different ways, this term karma is being used, which is not truly representing the scientific meaning of this word karma. When I read the book written by Sadhguru in the title of Karma, I got enormous amount of clarity, as he is one of the living masters who can make very complex things very simple to understand. So let me use some of his thoughts in explaining what he means by karma. Let us take the various evolutions of the creations in the past probably 13.8 billion years, ever since the Big Bang has happened. This whole universe is full of matter. When I say matter, what you see in the macrocosm, if you look up in the sky with a telescope, you will find innumerable number of planets, stars, galaxies, and the whole arrangement is called a cosmos. You find everything is nothing but a matter. If you see at the microcosm level, that is, you try to see anything with a microscope or electron microscope for that matter, you will find there are atomic particles which are not really matter, but they are energy forms. So that means this whole universe or cosmos for that matter has been created with full of material objects. When you say it is a material object, the next most important aspect is the memory. You will find that when matter comes into existence, the memory is becoming an integral part of that matter. For example, when the elements were discovered, gold or silver or chromium, etc., they figured out that when you are trying to divide the material into subatomic level, till it breaks up into atomic structure, the matter has got the same properties. That means you cannot divide the gold beyond a point at which you really discover there is an atom which has got the same property as the gold. So that means the matter has got an inbuilt memory to remain what it is. Let me give you another example. When you try to mix two chemicals in an acid, it generates oxygen. You mix some other chemical, you get carbon dioxide. That means the material that are being converted into the oxygen or carbon dioxide are built in with that memory. That means any number of times you try to mix them anywhere in the planet, you will find the same gas is generated. That's one form of memory that remains in the matter which appears to be lifeless. On the other hand, if you take a mango seed and keep it on the table at home, it doesn't grow into a mango tree. But when the same mango seed is put in the soil and you pour water, it understands its ambience and slowly becomes a seedling, and later on it becomes a plant, and then later on it becomes a tree. And again it starts bearing fruits. Now you may wonder how this mango seed knew that it is on the table of the home. At the same time, how it came to know that it has been dug into the soil so that it has to germinate into a tree. So it implies that the mango seed has got a built-in intelligence, or you may call it as a memory. That means it understands its surrounding in its own way. Examples can be multiplied. For example, Earth is revolving at a particular velocity, tilting its axis from summer to winter and going around the sun in a prescribed path without any change in the timing. That means you will find there are certain characteristics in this cosmos. That is, everything is cyclic in nature. Everything knows what it is supposed to do, and it continues to do without fail, unaided. That means nothing is aiding the earth to rotate. So it is a scientific curiosity to figure out how all this cosmos is functioning like an automobile. Extending this analogy to the human being, when the human beings are created, they had their own development in the form of their body organs and the formation of the brain, etc. And they have been provided with the enormous cerebral capabilities beyond the imagination of any other creations in the past. So going forward, before we could take up the topic of karma in more detail, we need to understand that every creation has been built in with an intelligence, has been built in with a memory. In fact, that memory is the one which is really making the particular creation to act in a particular manner. So in terms of the human being is concerned, we are also having several memories. What are those memories and where are they coming from, and how this memory is controlling our life, whether this memory can be erased, transformed, changed, etc., is beyond the scope of this episode. So in the coming episode, I will continue to explain in greater detail what little I have understood, this concept of karma and its effect on our life. So this is a most important topic of interest in the whole science of spirituality, because understanding karma and applying some of the tips in our life can substantially transform our quality of our life. So look forward to share with you more and more details. But as far as this episode is concerned, let us sum it up that karma has been understood with multiple connotations which are generally wrong. It is very important to figure out karma is nothing but a memory. Matter and memory are integral parts. If there is a matter created, there is a memory in it. And that's what the memory which is making them to function in a predetermined manner. As we have seen the examples of a mango seed or the planets or any other creation that we see around. That means matter and memory are integral parts. So in the same line of creations, human beings have been created with enormous amount of multiple memories which are controlling our behavior and the quality of life that we go through. Look forward to see you in some more episodes on the terms of vocabulary of spiritual science. God bless you with a wonderful life full of health and exuberance. Take care. Good day.